Alright, you guys. Don't know how long this first session of the stream is going to be. I have a feeling we're going to have to split it into 2 sessions. We'll see, though. We'll see. Sorry we got started late. There was a whole thing. So, it's been a day, and I've only been really up out of bed for like an hour. It's been a whole day. It's hot as balls. We've got thunderstorms trying to come in, but I have a feeling if I don't go live, then they're just gonna bypass us and never hit us, because it's not a guarantee that we're actually getting them today. So we may have to pause in the middle of leveling for a few minutes while we wait for the storm to blow over. If we do, then I'll come back later tonight and we'll finish. We're finishing this today, as long as we're able to. So I'm just checking in on that. When I first woke up, I had a splitting headache. I was able to take some ibuprofen and it might have been sinus, I'm not entirely sure, but I was able to fall back asleep for a little bit, and it abated enough where we can do this. It might have also been the weather pressure system trying to move in, so we'll see how that goes. And husband was trying to create some room on my C drive, which has been an absolute nightmare. And I had a graphics driver update that wouldn't update because of the room on my C drive, or lack thereof. So that took him a little while to try to get sorted. We did manage to get it sorted eventually, but yeah, between that and then having to handle some WoW challenges, social media stuff, here I am. So we're on the warrior. I did manage to get the warrior to level 49 off stream time, because yeah, I wanted to take advantage of Winds of Wisdom while I could. And here we are. So that let me shave off a couple of weeks of leveling on this one, since we mostly do a level a week. So hopefully we'll be able to wrap up this one's journey by the beginning of October instead of the end of October, because that's kind of what it was looking like, and I was like, oh man, I want my break before October. I really do. So, you know, we'll see what happens. And then we had an issue with the mother-in-law yesterday, and although somehow, maybe because she got the fraud alert in right away, it looks like she may have gotten the money back that she was scammed out of. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not 100% certain about that. So something was a little strange, but we will see. What happens with that in the coming days. That was a whole huge thing yesterday, and last night, while I was trying to edit a video, I was doing everything else but editing the video because my hand was cramping up from gripping my mouse so intensely. Trying to make these micro cuts in the live streams, trying to edit them down, and checked on my launcher, and I was like, oh, you know, it was patch day or update day or maintenance day, whatever the hell you want to call it. I was like, let me just double check. I checked earlier in the afternoon and didn't see anything. Checked again and I got into alpha, so yay! And I tried to do some testing last night and lost my shit because I kept getting, well, first of all, I saw the new UI. Uh-huh. I guess the politest way to say is I'm not a fan of it. And I know it says it's a work in progress and it's alpha. But it was giving me all sorts of issues last night, and by the time I finally got it into something that I could work with, I went to give feedback about it, and I was like 2 sentences into my feedback statement, I guess you'd call it, and I got disconnected. And then when I came back in, I was getting Lua errors left, right, and center. And then I couldn't even, like, I had saved the way I had set up the new UI. And when I came back in, even though I had saved it, the save was gone. And I was like, what is this? Why is the save gone? I'm sure it was just alpha being alpha. But then I kept getting Lua errors every time I was trying to redo it. And I was just like, really? And then I was super hot. It was like almost 90 in our room for some ungodly reason, even though the house AC was running. It was god-awful. So between the heat and getting frustrated, I was like, I'll come back later. And then I remembered I had a graphics driver update that I needed to do, and then I was like, right, I wonder if that was the source of the Lua errors. So husband managed to get that sorted for me this afternoon while I was waking up, and so we'll have to see about maybe trying to get back in there later tonight. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But right now we're trying to hit 50 on our friend here. And we're going to be doing some things and stuff here. You're going to be seeing me do some screenshots at some point. We are going to walk into Oribos on this one tonight, so I'm going to have to get some gear real quick. So you're going to see, or get a tiny glimpse of some of the stuff that I do for Lita to help out there. I don't know if what I'm doing is going to turn into a blog post or if it's going to get added into the rule set. It might be easier to do a blog post and link it back into the rules because photos and things, so we could do that. But we need to do some things here. So we probably should have done them before, but as time has been going on here and people have been coming back and leveling more, I've noticed that it's sort of probably needs to be done. Because sometimes a visual aid is just easier to understand. So we've got 3 bloodthirsties remaining in our personal mission of getting every class currently in the game to max level as a bloodthirsty. We've got the warrior here, the shaman, and the demon hunter remaining. And today you might see all 3 entering Shadowlands. I know I said I didn't want to run 3 in Shadowlands at the same time, but we just might, with Winds of Wisdom, go run in here. It might make it a little less painful. It was still plenty painful on the Demon Hunter doing stream prep, but it really only took me 1 day instead of 2 thanks to Winds of Wisdom. That and rewatching old Linkin Park concerts on YouTube, because I was trying to use the momentum of the music to just keep going, and, you know, it just kind of glancing over every so often still gave me something visually to watch. Because sometimes music alone just doesn't do it. Sometimes it's enough, but a lot of the times it's not. So between that and some long-form streams on YouTube, we've been able to keep moving here. And most of this level was done without Rested, and I will say I still prefer Rested with Winds of Wisdom. It makes it a hell of a lot less painful. Because when you run out of Rested, the Winds of Wisdom's just going to make you feel like you're on normal Rested, but seeing that it's purple, like, I guess mentally makes it feel like, oh god, this is never going to end. But, you know, I'd much rather have 800 some XP than 4 something, so I'm gonna be real damn sad when Winds of Wisdom goes away. That's for certain. 100%. So I'm gonna end up tabbing out a few times here as we go, so you're gonna have to bear with me. You're not gonna see the tab out, but I will end up pausing in what I'm doing briefly, because I need to check the weather. Alright, so far it's still a little bit to our north here. If I had managed to get up sooner, it probably wouldn't have to watch it quite so closely, but I was not in a position to function earlier. I had almost canceled altogether today and was going to be like, fuck it, we'll just do it tomorrow, but tomorrow's rain chances and storm chances are going to be a bit higher. And I really wanted to get this in, because if I do it tomorrow, then that's one less day that we have to get ready. Remember, there is no podcast this week. Lita's on vacation for the next 2 weeks. She's on vacation from work, and her birthday is coming up. My birthday is coming up, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Our birthdays are like back to back, so I'm cool. That's fine. We can do a fucking vacation on the podcast, so I have less to worry about. Nah, I'm cool with that. Because it gives me a slight vacation at the same time, so that's why I was all excited on the last show, because I was like, yeah, vacation. I mean, I'm still doing stuff, so it's just not in your face stuff, so it's a little less. But like, I still am watching over the social media stuff and things, and still available to do write-ups if anybody dings in the meantime. It's just the show being on vacation, because there's a lot of work involved with the show. I know it might not seem like it from the viewer standpoint, but there's a lot going on, a lot of prep, a lot of things and stuff, so sometimes you just gotta take that week or two off for a mental break. And the 7th anniversary show is coming up. That's gonna be exciting. Alrighty, level 50. Woohoo! We're officially 10 levels away from ending this shit on this one, because this is gonna be the last one that gets leveled up, so oh my goodness. Get that screenshot in. Alright, let's head back to Scale Trader. And hopefully we can find some gear to put on here. I think all my plate transmogs are pretty meh. They're mostly paladin based, so I think that's why I'm not seeing a lot of them on this one. So, wow, challenges. Bloodthirsty, troll your soul. We are a prot warrior. Ding's level 50, you guys. We're looking at a slash played so far of 4 days. Remember, this one went through level squish too, so she's been sitting for a while. I shudder to think of what her real world timestamp play-wise is going to look like. 29 minutes, probably like 2 years or something. 51 seconds. Total kills on this tune so far. I'm still going to do a total amount of kills I've done with all of them once we're at the end. 1, 6, 3. Alright. So let's go ahead and we'll... Ten to go. Tweak that. Alright, so let's see what we got out of this level here. I will say it is getting a little bit darker in our room. Alright, so I missed how much repairs were, but they couldn't have been that bad. Alright, let's do this. Gray stuff, 250. Picked up 2 greens there, and then we'll just go ahead and get rid of all of the meaty haunches. So let's do that. Alright, so we're up to 4,000. We're going to leave the food alone for the time being, because I think that will be good enough. So that was another almost 200. Alright, so now the trouble of getting back home. Scale trader post. Oh, we only have the flight plan to a war beast crawl. Alright. Alright, well, let's go do that. And then we can run the rest of the way. So how's everybody doing today? On this Wednesday? Starting Shadowlands with this one now. We're gonna go and get some gear. Cause I've learned it's very, very good to try to update whatever gear you have on before entering Shadowlands. Shadowlands hits hard, and it's not pleasant if you still have on like gear from level 30. So we're gonna go get some gear in Orgrimmar, and then I'm gonna show the walkthrough of how to enter Shadowlands. And where am I going? Am I going? Okay, that's where we want to go. It's always a little confusing for me coming out of here. And gonna show the option that you need to take when leaving here. When leaving the mall and going into... Oh, flamingos. And going into Oribos, because there's been some confusion, and I also need to take some screenshots for the website to help clear up that confusion. Because we always tell the Bloodthirsties now, you can't do Threads of Fate. Or you can't take Threads of Fate. However, there's 2 Threads of Fate coming into Oribos. And there's been some confusion, and some people have taken the Threads of Fate quests, Threads of Fate World Quest option, and you can't do that. You have to take the storyline. So we're gonna visually point out which one you're supposed to be doing, because it's a little muddled. So we're gonna do that. And I need to take some screenshots of that for the website so we can do a bloggy post or something to clear that up. Especially now that we've got a few more people playing Bloodthirsty now. I do have a walkthrough of my grinding areas that I've done for a fellow challenger who had not done Bloodthirsty in Shadowlands and didn't really know where to go. My grinding paths are a little bit on the safer side, shall we say. And I've got a couple of options that I can use out there, and I do have that link. That video is unlisted on my YouTube channel, but if enough people want to see it, I will take it off unlisted and make it public. It does reference the person that I had originally made the video for, so I do have their name in there. I think the boat shows up down here. I don't play Horde very much, as you can tell. Like I have like one Horde character that had made it to 120, and I never leveled them up through Shadowlands all the way. I think they're stuck sitting at 55. I think this is where the boat picks up. I have to chill out here for a second and see. Hello, Twisted. So for this, you cannot do quests just... Yeah, Bloodthirsty challenge is sort of the opposite of the Iron Man challenge. So, for Bloodthirsty, your main objective is mostly grinding. Now, there are some instances where you can quest. They are very limited and very structured and very laid out about what you can do and how far you can go. Because we had to stick those quests into the trackers for them being allowed. So that's why it's laid out and structured the way it is. There's a couple of points laid out on the website for where you can quest and who can quest, because not everybody can. If you're on a Worgen, a Goblin, a Pandaren, a Demon Hunter, or a Death Knight, you all, those 5, are allowed to quest until they get out of the starting zone. And their cutoff quests are mentioned on the website. As soon as we get into Echo, I will... Actually, I can probably pull it up while we're on the boat. Let me bring up... Nope, that's not the website I wanted. I know you started with a W, but I wanted WoW Challenges, not Wowhead. Sorry, I'm just checking on the weather real quick, too. So, because I don't like to play when there's thunderstorms overhead, and we've got some nearby. Where am I here? Rules. So, if you go to the rules on the website, we've been doing some tinkering this past week on the site. You go down, and you go down to Bloodthirsty. Under Rule 2, there is a page, or there's a link that says a list of allowed quests here. I'm going to grab that link for you guys right now. You guys can't see it. Paste. Okay, so those are going to be your allowed quests. It's not that bad. It's not that painful, I mean, unless you like to quest. But I've tried to do Iron Man before, and I get to a certain point where I'm just like, yeah, no, questing stresses me out, because I never know what quest is gonna kill me, and I'm of the mindset of, well, I'd rather pick the mob that's gonna kill me than the quest picking it for me, so, and sometimes it's just nice to just be able to sit there and kill stuff. And that sort of thing. Now, Bloodthirsties can wear white, gray, and green gear. You can't go higher than green on the Bloodthirsties. That was a change that came in Legion. So, because things just, they hit like a truck, and since the Bloods are in constant combat, not like some of the other ones where you can just get away with gathering quests sometimes, or holiday stuff. So, yeah, they were allowed to move up into the green gear. But, so for Shadowlands, before the mall skip came in, we had to go through and catalog every quest going through the mall and through Oribos and add them to the allowed list. Oh, where the fuck am I? Alright, I haven't been back here in a while. Alright, okay, we need to jet across the island here. We need to get over to Durota. I think we just need to go straight. Alright. If I can get out of the ditch. That's the next big thing. Alright, so these guys are maxed out at 30. That's fine. I tend to not use Chromie time. So, for me, I find it easier to just park my ass in one of two places in BFA, depending on what faction I'm on at the time, and just kind of sit and kill stuff. Because I know those spots to be safer. I used to get itchy when I stay in one spot, and I do still at times. But I've found that the vendor trash is a little more worth it where I'm at in BFA for my grinding spot than some other places. And then, you know, other times I'll take advantage of being a bloodthirsty and just killing stuff and farm for pets that drop off of random mobs that I know I can get away with killing on a bloodthirsty, like trying to farm for the emerald whelps and stuff. I've sold several of those over the years for about 20,000 gold a piece at times, so it has its advantages. Nope, not allowed to die. If you die, you're done. The only challengers that can die and keep going are the Tin Man challengers. If you die on an Iron Man, you can convert that challenger to a tin. Some people use that as a scouting method, where they will make a Tin Man to try to figure out what they can and can't get away with their irons. But yeah, bloodthirsty, you're dead, you're done, basically. So you're just mostly grinding to the end for the most part, except for the few instances. We are going to be doing a little bit of questing today, so as you can see in the link that I gave, you can quest in certain instances, like between X-Pack transitions. I strongly recommend that you at least do the In the Blink of the Eye quest that moves Darlarand from Northrend to Legion, because you can't do the quest that opens the portals in BFA. So you kind of need to have a way to get back when it comes time to get back. I haven't noticed this so much on the Horde side. The Horde side's easier to get back on. Alliance was bugging something terrible, where when you took the boat back, you were getting dropped in Hillsbrad up by the PvP portal, which was really damn inconvenient and quite the pain in the ass, especially if you didn't have flying. The last 2 times I have hearthed from there, you can buy flying from the mount vendor behind me. Or that, buy a flying mount. It's probably buy a flying mount. See, it's different in Stormwind. You don't have to do the quest to learn flying. And I haven't been able to figure this out here, because it looks like here you have to take the quest. That doesn't make any sense, because if you take the quest, you're gonna flag yourself, because the flying quests and everything count as more than one quest. Or at least they have in the past, where someone has accidentally taken the flying quest and gotten flagged for 12 quests. So, you know what? I don't need the flying on this character. Not where we're going. I know what we're doing, and we don't have to fly. So, it's kind of irrelevant at this point. Is it fixed now? Oh yeah, so that's what I was starting to say. I got distracted. It happens. Sometimes you have to remind me. I get scatterbrained. So yeah, the last 2 times I hearthed from, or took the boat, I ended up in Hillsbred or Arathi, one of them, except it looked like I was falling out of the sky. And I just seemed to fall and fall and fall, and then I hit another load screen, and I was in Stormwind. Scared the shit out of me. Was not a fan. I haven't had to hearth out of there recently, so I don't know if they fixed that up, but they may have finally fixed that damn boat bug that's been an absolute trial to deal with for some time. So I was going to say, you know, if you do the Blink in the Eye quest where you move Darlarand from Northrend to Legion, you get your Darlarand Hearthstone, and then you can just use that. And you don't have to worry about taking boats or zeppelins and shit. Alright, so I've got 4,000 gold to work with on my server. We're a warrior, so we need plate. Let's come in here. We're going to go upgrades, usable. We're going to take off everything except what we can wear. And I'd rather have the greens instead of the whites and the grays because the shit hits hard in Shadowlands. Alright, that's more than I wanted to do. Let's break this down by category. Oh, fuck. Even the plate's expensive. God damn it. I don't know what the fuck's been going on this server, but I've seen other people on their server say that's not nearly this expensive on their server. And I'm like, how? I don't even want to pay that for this. Card is level 50. I mean, we don't have this appearance. It's cheaper. I'm not paying. Number one, I don't have it. But why would you pay 25,000 gold for a level 50 item that's a normal drop? Like, this is dumb. Even this is dumb. It's level 50. You're gonna replace it in like a level if the drops are there for you, and if you're questing, you wouldn't be here anyway. But that's just dumb. I don't even want to pay this, but you know what? We need something. Alright. That was painful. Hopefully the rest of this... Oh, shit. Alright. What do we got here? This is 470. I mean, that's a hell of a markup from what the vendor price is. Yeah, alright. That's what we can afford. I have a feeling we're gonna go bankrupt real fucking quick here. Just. Oh, good lord. Alright. What the fuck? People. This is dumb. I mean, it's slightly better. Not much, but gotta watch what we're spending here because we still need to look at our weapons. Drops have not been kind on this character, so that's definitely an upgrade. I mean, that's 17 strength, 30 stamina. 16 crit, 16 mastery. I mean, it's pretty much the same as the other one. It's all made by the same person. Oi. Yeah, it's been real bad. But, like, when you hit level 56 or 57, the shit's, like, 200 gold a piece max. And I'm like, why? This server makes no damn sense. This server set. Like, I'm surprised that the prices are quite this high. With this many servers linked together. You would think there would be a bit more competition here. Also gotta make sure it doesn't look like it's enchanted, so... it looks alright, I guess. Was that legs? Alright, we're up to feet. Oh, you're 130. Alright, you're still an upgrade. Like, I was getting no drops at one point and had to go and get gear because things were starting to hurt a little too much. Geocrag? What the fuck? What zone is this from? Geocrag. That's not a Shadowlands item. Item level 60. Oh, that's pretty low. I mean, it's still higher than what I've got on, but... Oof. Okay, hands. They announced the link auction house region-wide with Dragonflight. Oh, that would be welcome. Very much so. Because these prices, I wouldn't pay this shit on a regular character. I'd be like, fuck that. The only reason I'm doing it on here is because I really need the added protection. I really don't. I don't want to spend this. Like, now when I had greens and I was trying to put them up on auction house, they weren't selling. Whenever I had something to put up, they were actually being listed below vendor value. And I'm like, really? That's dumb. So... I just end up vendoring them now. I really don't want to spend that on that. Oh. Okay. We need... where is it? I think it's under miscellaneous now. Cloak. I never find any cloaks up anymore. Nope. No cloaks. And not under cloth anymore either. So let's go to weapons. I'm running in prot. So let's go one-handed. Where's the shields at? Oh, it's under... What? Why? Why is... Really? Shields and offhand shouldn't be in there. I'm sorry, how much? Is this like a kick-ass transmog? Because I don't think it looks like it. What do we have? Where's my key? 51. Highest eye level is 57 on these. Really? Nobody's putting shields up. Okay. Sure. I mean, slight increase. I'd consider it more of a side grade than anything. 400 block. Wait, what's the... That's the less block. Oh no, that's what I have. Okay, calm down. Alright, I guess we'll get that. Calm down, chick. Okay. Weapon. One-handed. Alright, I think we can do axes. Let's see. I mean, it's 381. What do we got for mesas? I mean... Swords. Ceremonious Reaper. Wait, 14 damage per second. I mean, that's a bit of an increase. Let me come back to the axes here real quick. Strength, stamina. My sticky keys keep popping on when I hold, so... Alright, fuck it. We're just gonna get that. Don't want to deal with this all day. Okay. Let's go get our shit. We've got things to do. And I've got swarms I'm trying to beat, so... Alright, let's get this stuff. Some of it's sort of appropriate. Alright, let's come over here out of the way. Alright. So, I did get into alpha, so I need to do alpha testing for Lita soon. Hopefully my Lua error issue will be dealt with. Alright, so what are we at? 9, 9, 8. Alright, let's see what we can make happen here. Alright, change out the hat. We're gonna have to redo our transmog here if we have the cash. Oh, that was a shoulder. Alright, up to 11. 12. Alright, feet. And then... Alright, so not an incredible gain. Oh, we look hideous. Alright, but was something. It was something. I don't know if I have this transmog saved. If we do, we'll quick slap that on. If we have the cash to do so. Considering we're down to 800 gold. That money didn't go very far. Alright, just take us a second here. And then we'll pop in. I'll get my screenshots. And we'll get settled in over there. Now, because this one doesn't have a heal that they can use in combat. Did I save it? No, of course I didn't save it. Why would I have saved it? I know what I'm looking for though, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm probably going to go with my more gentler option. Is that what we want? Like... No, it's this one. That's the one we want. I was gonna say, that's not right. Hands. Nope, that's not it. Where are you? Nope. There you are. I have parts of the Jade set that I have picked up from previous Bloodthirsty grinding sessions. I had a few pieces drop in Winter Spring. Once upon a time. I think that was the one I was using. I don't think it's necessarily the one that goes with this, but that's the one I was using. So, I mean, that was kind of fun. I sold a couple of them. A couple of them I kept. That was a real damn hard choice. But the Jade set, like, the shoulders don't look good. Alright, cape. I really should just save this, but... What cape was I using, damn it? I should know this because I put this outfit on this character a couple of times now. I think that was it. Alright. So before we're completely bankrupt, let's get the hell out of here and over to the keep and talk to whoever the fuck's in charge over here. Hey Taco, how's it going? The rain's a coming, finally. I hope. Where are we at here? I don't know if we're gonna get a piece of this. It's like just to our north. Near the Arkansas-Missouri state line here. We need the rain. Okay. So, if you really like pain and really like risking things unnecessarily and don't want to do the mall skip, then you're gonna take the tell me what happened option. Let's see if I can put my mouse somewhere where it's not going to be in the way. However, it's much safer now that the mall skip is in to take it. Unfortunately, it only drops you an oribos. It doesn't completely drop you at the end of the oribos questing chain either. It drops you at the beginning of it. It just kind of dumps you where the mall finishes. I've done the mall on a few challengers. I've done that playthrough on stream several times. It's probably in one of the archived live streams on the YouTube channel under the All Things WoW Challenges playlist if you really want to go and see that. That escort's a bitch. I don't recommend it if you don't have to do it. I highly recommend you take the skip, which is what we're going to do. And the YouTube channel is just NiseyBGN. It's the same as it is here. It is so hot in this house. Well, in our room. The rest of the house isn't too bad. It's a little warm, but I think the feels like temperature was 107 when I checked a little bit ago. And the AC for the house doesn't quite reach our room. The vents don't work in the floors. For some godforsaken reason. Alright, so we've got our Into the Mall achievement. We're frozen in place. We can't do anything. Although the moose can look around, which is kind of fascinating. Alright, so Fate Scribe Rotal. He's gonna show up. Everything's gonna be black and white and all that shit. I'm gonna screenshot that. So you're gonna click on him. Turtle made it to Oribos. We're gonna click on him. And Now, this is where it gets a little muddled. The quest is called The Threads of Fate. You have to do the quest, okay? It's what you select as your choice is where you have to be careful. So, I need to screenshot this. I think we're just gonna do this as a blog post. So, we're going to accept the quest, and he's asking us if we want to choose a different path and all of that. So we're going to accept. And now he's going to tell us these are our 2 paths that we have to choose from. Sorry, I need to take another screenshot. I'm not sure if it's going to look like the screen blinked or not. If when I did that, it might not. That might have just been on my end. So now the quest goes: begin your journey as other mortals have before you. No one will know your fate, your role in the purpose. Or let the threads of time and destiny pull you forward. You will be known by the covenants and may choose your allegiance. The realms of death will be opened before you, and your fate will be your own. Make your decision. So, you're going to click on, I am ready to choose my fate in the Shadowlands.
Trust in the Arbiter.
Now, the quest that we just went over was called The Threads of Fate. As you can see on the screen, it says choose your Shadowlands experience. It says The Threads of Fate or replay the storyline. This is why I don't understand why they double named this. This shouldn't have been. It's too confusing. So the Threads of Fate option for the Threads of Fate quest is your world quests. It opens up all of the islands. It lets you travel between everybody. It lets you pick your covenants and all that shit. You can't take that option on a Bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty, you need to replay the storyline. That's all there is to it. When you take the Threads of Fate option, it gives you credit for every single storyline quest in the game. It's over 200 quests. Well, for Shadowlands, I shouldn't say the game on the whole, but for the Shadowlands zones, the storyline, you get credit for every single one, and it's 200 or over 200. It's something like that. If you take that on a Bloodthirsty, you're gonna find yourself red flagged faster than a DC death. So don't take that. No go. You must take the storyline. Now, the storyline option will limit you to a degree. So, you'll have to take the storyline. And you'll have to do the handful of quests that are in Oribos to get out of Oribos, because you have to open up the flight point and all that. And I'll go through that here in just a minute. But if there is a workaround, so as a Bloodthirsty, if you have the Shadowlands scouting map toy from the heirloom vendors, you can still access the other islands without getting the storyline quest credit. So that's something to think about if you really don't want to be in Bastion. That being said, I personally think Bastion's the more Bloodthirsty friendly island, even though I'm so sick of being there, because this is character, 9? 10 out here right now in a row on just the challengers. So while I hate being in Bastion because I'm just so sick of being there right now, I do find it the more Bloodthirsty friendly island. There's room to see the mobs. Make sure you put on your large nameplates and your NPC nameplates as well, so you can see the mobs through the grass, because sometimes the grass can be a little tall in places. But I do find it to be the easier of the zones to deal with, because the mobs aren't packed as tightly as, say, Ardenweald. And there's a good number of neutral mobs that are safe to deal with. Not every neutral mob is safe to deal with. Don't touch the rams. They headbutt you backwards. A good amount of feet. I found that out by accident. So, forgot we're around other people. We should put that on. Combat. So it's just Revendreth, you've got some zone buffs, debuffs that you have to deal with, zone debuffs that can be a little bit problematic. Ardenweald, they're just packed so tightly. Maldraxxus, depending on where you are, at times there could be poison bolts raining down from the sky that will one-shot you. Sir was in an inn near the Amphitheater of Pain, or Theater of Pain, whatever it is out there in the middle of the zone. It's been a while since I've been in Maldraxxus. The big arena. He was in an inn that was next to it. One of those events where, like, these poison bolts were raining down hit him in the inn and killed him. So, I don't set foot out there on anybody. So, yeah, just there's better. I feel like it's better in Bastion on the whole. Yes, people didn't realize that this is how it works. Yeah, I mean, I've seen some people take the Threads of Fate and get nailed, and we first thought Threads of Fate was going to be fine. And at the very beginning of Shadowlands, when this came in, we're like, it should be okay on our testing. So it was briefly allowed for Bloodthirsties, but then we rescinded that, and we're like, no. Because I got a character flagged on it that I had to re-roll. But, you know, it's the way it is. So we after I think one other person, because there was some other things going on with that character, the way that they were reading on the site, so we weren't 100% sure it was Threads of Fate. And our code team was very busy and didn't have time to get to it, and then it became more apparent that it was the Threads of Fate questline that is what triggered the flag, so then we had to disallow it. Because that's just too many quests, and there was other ways to deal with it. Okay, so we did that. Okay, so then it's like you've just come through after you select your storyline, and then you've got these two stooges here. And it's just like you've come out of the mall. So, now you have to play through the quests in Oribos. There's no getting around that. But, you know, it's a few XP points, even if it is maddening, because it takes them forever to talk and get through it. But yeah, I think we'll end up doing a blog post, and then maybe we can get Zaya to add a link into the rules on what option you have to take for threads to the post to show you what you need to be doing. Because I'm not sure I can get in there and do that myself. I might be able to. I have some access to some things. I don't understand the combat log, because it's showing things that I'm not doing. It's showing things about people around me, but at least I'm not showing them yammering at each other, so that's fine. Can I talk to you? Okay, sometimes these guys need to bitch back and forth a bit. They bicker. Like siblings. Yes, I escaped them all. I'm going to escape out of these little mini cutscenes because I can't. We've done these so many times.
Mere moments ago, there was a disturbance at the boundary of the moor. Then this mortal appeared, claiming to
Well, at least the severe thunderstorm warnings are starting to drop off.
surely
There's
their
still one,
presence here serves the
but it's in
purpose.
Oklahoma.
If the Arbiter reacted to their arrival,
For me.
perhaps they
There's
are
one up
key to
above
making
Poplar Bluff in Missouri, though.
Is this mortal worthy of such an audience? They may prove to be an agent.
Do I have to listen to you bicker?
It is the Arbiter's place
Like-
to judge souls, Hashem, not ours. I will bring this
Blizzard
mortal
almost
before
got it right with the moss skip. They almost got it right.
I spoke. Your
It really should have put you
blessed be her
at the point where you just had to open the gate to Bastion,
until we speak again.
in my opinion.
I pray the Arbiter will awaken in your presence, mortal.
'Cause, you know, this is tedious still.
For and be
And yeah, there is the world quest option, but I hate doing world quests.
all will be judged
With a
fairly
passion.
unchanged, ever
And once
so.
you pick the world quest option, you can't go back.
When you arrived in Oribos,
Oh,
I saw the Arbiter stir for the first time in many cycles. It gave me hope
oh my
that she
goodness.
would awaken and resume her blessed purpose. Mere words cannot describe the glory that was. Step forward, that I may show
I'm not stepping anywhere. You're gonna throw me off of this platform. Yes, yes.
trust in the purpose.
I hate that flashiness. It gives me such a headache. I don't know if I told you guys. When I was doing beta testing for the challenges,
Fate guides your hand.
and was working on getting into Bastion. I had gotten in there, and I'd gone through the gateway, and the gateway has that stupid swirling blue light that goes around in a circle, and like the wind and the dust and everything blowing while you're in there. I came out into, where was it? It bugged on me. I think I flew back from one of the other zones. I don't think it was Bastion. It was somewhere else. And I flew back into Oribos. And when I landed in Oribos, I still had the damn gateway graphic swirling in a circle on my screen. Now, okay, I'm not prone, like I'm not someone that suffers from seizures or anything.
Just outside the city.
I do have migraine issues though. And the damn thing just kept swirling in a circle on my screen, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And I was like, okay, well, I'll just go back to Stormwind then. Or Northrend. I think I had a Darlaran Hearthstone or something. So I did that, and then I was in Darlaran, and the damn gateway graphic was still swirling on my screen. I logged out, I logged back in, it was still there. I exited the game, I reloaded the game, it was still there. I restarted my computer and it was still there. I ended up taking a video recording of it and I'm like, what the F? And so I put in a bug report and I made a different character and it wasn't on that character. It was specifically stuck to that character. I was so mad because I had done so much testing up to that point on that character and it was just all gone. And I had to start over. But it gave me such a blinding headache because it was going on for like a half an hour and I'm like, oh god. And then this is reminiscent of Shatrath. Except we don't have a little elemental guy leading us by the nose. We can just go and do it. But because we're going indoors, we can't be mounted. So, we gotta do this on foot. That was god-awful. I'm just hoping that my Lua error issue is fixed when I get back into alpha to start doing some testing. And hopefully the UI issues are sorted. And I can lodge my 2 cents in the feedback about the UI. So, as respectfully and politely as I can. In, you know, 500 characters or less. I don't understand why they limit that when some feedback needs more than 500 characters. Oh yeah, even though all toys are allowed, if you see those signs, don't click on them. Some of those signs, when you click on them, we've noticed that characters suddenly have a death show up in their stats. So don't be clicking shit that you don't know what it is. Alright, that chat bubble for that one. Now, you have to go out here and talk to this dude out here. Now, this is the same dude we talked to. To choose the storyline option. He's the one that met us when we landed here. He's a little tricky to talk to. Do not click that, because that is the option to take the world quest option and get out of the storyline. We can't take the world quest, so we want to do, oh no, wait, what is he? He's something else. He's a different, oh, he's to talk to him to change your mind. That's another chat bubble. We want the one in the middle. What is this place? Here we go, because he's, yeah, for some reason it wants us to, they're like, oh, talk to me, and well, no, I can't take that option on this character. Step off. I said no, damn it. But he sits there with his little bubble option, so you, or his little question mark option, so you can find him again. Apparently. I could probably abandon that quest to make that go away. Maybe. What mount is this? Cataclysmic Gladiators Twilight Drake. Huh. I don't think I've seen that one. I have Murky. Because a friend really wanted Murky. So I helped her on one of the PvP tournament servers when they did that. And is it Murky or is it Murkamus? It might be Murkamus. I might be saying it wrong. Who is it? Pet journal. I think I named him Caesar. Yeah, I named Murkamus. I named him Little Caesar. But yeah, we've got him. It's bad luck to change pets. Once you've got a pet out, that's the pet. I don't have a pet on everybody, but most of the challengers do. I didn't bother with the Demon Hunter, because I didn't know if they were going to survive getting out of the starting zone. It was a little sketchy. And I was like, well, we should probably leave it be now that they've got out. Oh, good lord, this takes forever. Alright. Blah, blah, blah. Speak to you. Hello, speak to you. Can we find the answers? And then we have to listen to them bicker again.
The balance between life and death.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm so sad we're not going to get any of this rain. Oh, there's one out by Tulsa. We might get that. That's more along our... Is it latitude?
But not with chains.
It's on our horizontal plane. If it keeps coming straight across.
True, but it would seem this is the only clue our mortal friend has to follow. It falls to us to open the way for him.
Now, maybe the first through third times you're doing this, it's not so bad. This is not alt-friendly in the slightest.
But honored voice, we have so little anima in our reserves. Surely we should be more.
Like,
See it done, Kashe. With her voice have I spoken.
oh my word. Talk faster.
I have been instructed to assist you.
He's so pissy.
I will show you the way.
He definitely has a stick up his ass. He's like, I've been instructed. Like, no, dude, you were reprimanded. Let's get it right. And you can't jump the gun on him. I've done it. And like the quest bugs or something, or you have to click on him down here or some shit. Like, you have to be with him when he gets to the thing. Because the one time I jumped the gun and just went up there and I was waiting up on the upper floor for him forever. And I'm like, where did he go? I had to drop the quest and restart it again. It's like, really?
Here, mortal. This teleport
Like, I had to
can
walk
lead
with
you to
him.
the ring of transference.
Yeah, because part of the quest is following him. You got a ton of rain the last few days, and you were asleep for all of it. Yay for being sick. Oh, I'm sorry you're sick. You didn't say anything last night. We need the rain so bad. There was another wildfire down by Fort Smith, near Fort Chaffee, that they saw on one of the wildfire alert websites, and Oklahoma is just like on fire. So they need the rain too. Open the gateway to Bastion. Well, that's what we've been trying to do this whole time, sir.
To spare.
But you've been dragging your damn feet, so let's go.
Blessed your mission, so we will use what we have.
So when you come over here to open the gateway, make sure that you click
One of the sole conduits for
Roivanave?
to Bastion.
Ivanave?
These paths have been
However the fuck you're supposed to pronounce that. So you get your flight plan. So you can fly back into here. If you need to come back and go to the other side for anything. I don't set my hearthstone here because it's too much of a pain in the ass to get back and forth. I usually set my hearth out at one of the inns near where we are grinding. And just fly back in when I need to go to Stormwind, which usually isn't until like level 56 or 57. Okay, so I'm gonna put a warning up here. If you are sensitive to flashy lights, it might not be that bad, but I'm gonna put the warning up because this gateway gives me such a fucking headache, and I already kind of have one. So you're gonna take the Seek the Ascended quest. This is the last quest you're allowed to do on a Bloodthirsty, as far as Shadowlands is concerned. So they're gonna send us through the gateway. Flashy light warning here. The weird blue light's gonna go swirling around the screen. I will tell you when we're done and when we have landed, and when you can look back at your screen fully if that's something that bothers you. As it is, I'm not looking at my screen right now. I'm trying to look away. But yeah, I had this light swirling around my screen for half an hour in beta, and it would not go away. I was so mad. So mad. But yeah. Okay, flashy light's done. We're about to land. But the weather, it was kind of iffy as to whether we were going to get something tonight. They're saying our rain chances are more like 50%-ish come tomorrow and Friday.
The way is open.
The last time I looked. Alright, you can talk to Clea. Alright, don't take that. You're done. No more questing for you. All done. So now you have to go figure out where you're going to kill stuff. So I had kind of alluded to this earlier, but I know I'm in prot, but the only heal we really have is going to be Victory Rush, and we can't use that in mid-combat. And you can't eat mid-combat. So we're going to have to be a little particular about the mobs that we're going after. And I have a couple different grinding locations. One of my grinding locations is right as you come in, up here next to Aspirant's Rest. However, I have actually been harassed a little bit on this upper grinding location from time to time. It was by one or two specific individuals on opposite faction that were fucking with me. And I haven't seen them in some time, but I also moved where I was grinding, because while this path is not bad, my upper one, there's some of the stag, deer, goat hybrid things. These guys are a quest mob, I believe, but they pack a punch. So I'm not sure I want to risk it on this one. And then you've got this thing to deal with. If somebody pulls him, it can get a little messy. He's got a pretty large hit radius, so you might think you're good, and then you'll get like sideswiped with an AoE and 2/3 of your health will be gone. So watch him. Make sure that you're paying attention if you hang around up there. We're actually gonna duck out towards Hero's Rest. These guys, they do a gore dot. It's a very nasty dot. It can stack, so make sure you're only pulling one of those if you have the means to deal with that dot. It's pretty unrelentless. It can drop you to half while you're still in combat on just the dot itself. So I tend not to go after those mobs. Like, that's another one that does it on a class that can't deal with that. I usually leave that for the ones that have a way to heal themselves. Like the Demon Hunter can heal themselves while they're killing stuff with Soul Cleave. The Druid had that fucking, was it Frenzied Roar? I don't know, the Regenerative Roar, whatever. They had ways to deal with it. The Paladin had Flash of Light and stuff. This one is kind of not, so we're gonna take this one over to the Moths, because the Moths don't do any nasty dots. And it's probably gonna be the safest mob in the long run for this one to be messing with. So this is gonna be your Hero's Rest. There's a teleportation platform up there The moths are down here. We can do a spin through the moths and then we'll move on to the next character. Yeah, gore is very nasty. Like, I don't know how to get the point across that that's not something you want to fuck with on a bloodthirsty or even an iron. You definitely don't want it on an iron. You'll be dead before you can get the dot off of you. It's not pleasant to deal with, and just don't if you can avoid it. Like, I know some people are probably like, oh yeah, whatever. No, it's bad. It's really bad. We'll see how killing these guys goes. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit slow since we're in tank spec, but these moths are one of the gentler mobs out here. If you don't have a way to heal yourself, and they respawn at a decent rate. Usually by the time you've completed one loop, they're back up and ready to go, so you don't really have to wait on the respawns too much on most of the classes. Now, this is the first time I've had the warrior out here at all, period. Whether challenger-wise or not, so we'll see how that goes, but I think we're going to play super cautious in order to complete our objective, and stick with these guys. Watch your AoEs if you're on an AoE heavy character, and watch your patrols. Now, there's really no patrols over here that we really have to worry about. There's a couple of red mobs up in the air, but I haven't been bothered by them at all. But yeah, just watch your AoEs, because you definitely don't want to accidentally pick up. There's a couple spots that have the horses patrolling through. They're neutral as long as you don't do anything to piss them off, but they do that gore dot. And if you're doing an AoE, you're going to find yourself with 2 of them, plus whatever you were originally killing, and you'll have multiple gore dots on you. So, it's not a good idea, and that gore dot hangs around for a while. I want to say it's almost a 10-second dot. It could be a little bit longer. Maybe 11 or 12? Maybe it's 11. But, I don't usually pay attention to the countdown timer, but I know it takes a little bit, because I'll have just finished combat and it'll still be ticking, and I'm like, fuck. So I'm like trying to eat. So it's not a good idea to fuck with it unless you've got a way to circumvent it. And you can't interrupt gore either. It's got one of those shields around the spells, so interruption's not gonna happen. Oh man, I'm loving Winds of Wisdom on this character, because trolls get a 20% XP increase on beasts that they kill due to one of their racial abilities. So I was like, hell yeah. So, ooh, who are you? You are a World Quest guy. I don't ever remember seeing you up there before. Yeah, don't go up there. He should be staying up there. Oh, you've got a skull on you. Yes, we don't need to be up there. Stay far away from him. And remember, you need to be situationally aware as a challenger. Especially if you suddenly see other people near you. Because we all know, as max levels, and as normal leveling characters, we don't give a fuck. We just want to get from point A to point B, and I'm not killing all this shit in between. I've done it myself. And we just run through everything. And we don't stop to deal with it unless we get dismounted. And even then, if we get dismounted, sometimes we're still running on a regular character. Be careful, because if somebody does that next to you, they could run through you. And you'll think you've not touched any of the mobs, but somehow you'll be next on the aggro totem pole when they decide to start to leash. So if somebody starts running towards you and you see a shit ton of mobs following them, you may want to run too. At least until it looks like the mobs have reset, or until you're sure you're not in combat. You know, it's safer that way. Because I have seen people drag quite the mob train out here. Alright, put our meat down there. Start accumulating. So these moths actually do have a high ticket vendor item. It's going to be the slumber powder, and they're going to be 16 gold a piece. So that will definitely help go towards the repair bills. I will say, so far, this class feels pretty good on these moths. Haven't really felt like we needed to eat afterwards, so that's good. And so we'll finish out the loop here, and then we'll go grab somebody else, just so you guys can see the moth loop in action. Because the video I put together showing my grind spots, I wasn't actually doing a full loop on them to show what those mobs were going to do. I was just showing what mobs I go after in the loop. Now, this is the only part of the loop where you're probably going to want to be a bit more cautious, because there are Larians nearby. Oh, my arm's twitching. So we've got some Larians up here. You don't want to fuck with them. And there's a whole bunch of Larians back under these trees. Don't fuck with them on a challenger unless you're like maybe a hunter, and then you're going to want to make sure they're all on your pet, and then I would only suggest one at a time. And I think those are going to pull together. So, they do a rake or a bleed or something, and it's not pleasant either. Kind of ranks up there with the gore dot. I think it's a little bit faster than the gore dot, but it's still not pleasant. I would not suggest it unless you're on a hunter. They're also going to take a little bit to die, because they've got a bit more health than, say, these moths or even the horses do. Now, they will have a little bit more XP to give you, but the rule of thumb seems to be, from what I've noticed out here, the higher the XP is, or the higher the mob's health, the more XP they're going to give you. So these guys are like 4,000 health, almost 5. And these guys are 9. That's a big difference. I think these guys give close to 900 or 1,000 XP. I'm usually on rested, so that number might differ from what you might see if you're not rested. But I wouldn't fuck with them on anything but a hunter, and then be one at a time, because they can get pretty nasty, and definitely 2 of them is going to be a disaster, if not one of them. So tend to play cautiously, and to some people's standards I probably play a little too cautiously. But it's working, and we only have 3 classes left to go, so I think so far by worst was the demon, the Death Knight, not the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter's been okay. The Death Knights, the Death Knight, the Rogue, and the Warlock have been my least favorite. They all have their issues. Death Knight was just so ungodly slow. It just seemed to take forever to get anything done. Although, that order could change by the time we're done the warrior here. I mean, we're moving at a pretty decent clip on them right now, but we also still have a little bit of rested, and we have Winds of Wisdom, so, you know, things and stuff. Alright. Now there's a couple of foxes over here. I don't know how this one's gonna handle the foxes. I know my shaman didn't like the foxes. They were just, they scared me. I had to drop the healing totem on them. So I think I might leave the foxes be. I don't have quite enough health where I'm willing to play with them. If I had been able to get the gear that I had wanted to get, be a different story. But I feel like I'm just a bit too squishy. So we're just gonna do the moths for now. Now if we get some more drops and we're able to up that health point pool, then maybe we'll test a fox. But right now it's the risk reward is not worth it to me, so it's fine. So that's pretty much the moth loop. If you're on someone that has, you know, some hit points to play with, you can take these. They don't do anything too terrible, but they can pack a punch. Like, they don't have a dot, but they can take a good chunk, so. I'm going to tuck this one back up into Hero's Rest for now, and we'll grab the shaman. If you need to start dinner, sweetie.
No, I'm good.
Okay. We're eating together tonight, so. And after last time, I don't know if we want me watching the pot. At least right now. Because I almost destroyed a pot. Because the hamburger helper that we were making burnt to the bottom because the burner that we were cooking on seems to have a mind of its own. And like, if you're cooking around 5, it's okay for a while, and then after you've been using the burner for a little bit, it suddenly decides it's gonna just do whatever fucking temperature it wants. And it, like, I've cooked on 3 on that burner before and not had much happening. So, like, a high-low, I guess. And, or a low-medium. And,
They're more than just knowledge.
I had only left the pot for, like, maybe 3 minutes. Because it was one of those things, let it simmer, and then come back and stir. And I came back to stir it, and the entire bottom layer had, like, burnt to the bottom of the pan. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, really? What's happening? So that was a pain, and then trying to get it off the pot was a nightmare. Alright, so that's the warrior. Let's go grab the shaman. Shaman got some gear. At 52, you got new gear from the auction house. Eye levels 100 for around 300 gold apiece. That's not bad considering the prices we were just looking at. I think you might have missed that part, Taco. Good God, the prices on this server. Terrible. So, I did get some gear upgrades on the shaman. We finally started to get some mail pieces to drop. Where's my hand? My whole arm is like, sorry, I'm just checking the weather real quick. I don't think we're gonna, well, maybe later. My whole arm is shaken for some reason. So, we replaced a hat, a mace, a cape, and a, dagger. So, the drops weren't too plentiful, but then again, with Winds of Wisdom, we didn't have to, oh, if my arm would stop shaking. My mouse hand is, like trembling when I hold it a certain way, which is the way I need to fight here. That's kind of a pain in the ass. But it wasn't too plentiful because Winds of Wisdom were not needing to kill as many mobs. So there is a con to Winds of Wisdom where, you know, you're not getting as many drops as you would without it, but it also made the level go a hell of a lot faster, and I'm going to be sad to see this go. Still have a couple more days on it, so I'm hoping I can get stream prep done for next week before it vanishes. That's the plan. We'll see. They're normally around 2 to 5. So it's like that on every server now. Why? Why, people? It's level 50 gear. Stop it. It's entry level 50 gear. Just stop. It's gonna be replaced shortly anyway. You're being dumb. You're being so dumb with your pricing. I just don't understand, because they're not even that good of a transmog piece. In my opinion, at least. I only had 4,000 gold to work with when we went to get gear, so... Oh look, we're in the moth loop again. This one's been living over here, though. I've just been vendoring mine. I can't be bothered going back to auction house, because it seems like every time I go to sell something, that's the price, or that's the piece that's, like, not selling for shit. Like, nobody's really buying anything. I have seen so few players lately. Like, everybody's just sitting in Oribos. Or in Stormwinds. Auction house on Ironforge is desolate. Every time I've logged in. Doesn't seem to matter what time of day it is. I think the most people I saw there one day was like 10. It was so crazy. Usually outside of Ironforge, it's hopping between the bank and the auction house area there. The one night, it was like 9:30 at night, there was one other person in the bank. And I was like, damn. Like, it felt like 10 minutes before server maintenance shut down and, like, nobody was around. And it wasn't. And I was just like, this feels kind of creepy. Like I'm in a store that's closed and I shouldn't be here. They sell for almost instantly. Well, I mean, at least you're having success selling. I haven't been. I mean, even when I see the ridiculous prices and I'll undercut, I get them right back in the mail. So then it becomes an issue of I'm just losing money on auction house deposits then at that point, so. Oh my god, it is so hot in here. If I wasn't sitting on this towel, I would be glued to my chair. This is gross. Why is it so dark? Like I'm scared.
It's 7 o'clock, but
it's not normally this dark at 7 o'clock right now. Like, what is happening?
let me check the weather.
Like, I'm afraid to look outside. A ton of the raw food people are putting in the auction house for less than vendor. You buy 100% of it, and vendor it's easy gold. Yeah, I've noticed meat used to sell really good, and fish used to sell really good, and that's how I made a lot of my money the beginning of the expansion, but now it just keeps coming back, so I was just sending it to one of my other characters. My normal characters, like my bank alt and stuff, just to kind of sit on for a while, and every so often I'll do like a fire sale out of my bank where everything must go. It takes me like 2 hours to go through everything, but had a bitch of a time selling anything on the Horde side. Like, I've got a couple of blue and purple pieces of gear. Nobody's buying. And I did not have it up for a ridiculous amount of money. I'd actually undercut the other people. Alright, we got 2.5 bars left to go on this one. I don't think we're going to get to the working man today on stream, so I will probably deal with them off stream, because they're just gathering shit anyway.
We might finally get something in another hour.
Yeah.
He keeps popping up to our west and moving towards us, only to vanish.
Yeah, and the stuff that's to our north is going east instead of southeast, so
Some of it has been a street south side, so we'll see what happens.
we need this rain so bad. Everything's getting crunchy. We gave up watering outside because, you know, water bills, the amount of water we would have to do to keep up, it just wasn't worth it. So hopefully my elephant ears will come back next year. I'm just so mad because we had planted some bulbs and I don't know if they come back yearly. I think they do. We'll find out. I was so excited because we were able to get them this year. Wasn't too many, it was only like 3 or 4 of each one, but still. I'd gotten some bleeding heart plants and some weird, like pinkish purple fuzzy things. They weren't the alum. They weren't the puffballs. They kind of looked like lavender, but they were pink. I don't remember what the fuck they were called, but it's kind of what they looked like, or what they were supposed to look like had they ever actually flowered. I think I saw 2 flowers on one before the heat just became too much and they succumbed. That and the outdoor cat kept laying on them in the planter box that they were in. I'm like, stop, child. You're not even our cat. Where do you belong? Just have animals show up. Lately we've had raccoons. We had one outdoor cat that started showing up, and we got on one of the town Facebook pages and we're like, yo, whose cat is this? It's hanging out at our house, crying for food. And somebody's like, oh, we had 3 people say it was theirs. And somebody's like, no, that's mine. He's outside. He gets plenty of food. He's just being a drama queen. And I'm like, okay. So, you know, we would put a little bit out for him when we saw him. No big deal. Then another cat showed up, and this other cat didn't like the original cat that had been coming by. They kept fighting. New cat won. We haven't seen the other cat in a while. And new cat seems to think that he lives here now. We tried to do the same thing on Facebook, and we're like, hey, whose cat is this? Nobody said it was theirs, so I don't know if this was a cat that got dumped or what have you. He doesn't appear to be fixed. We don't have the money to get him fixed, nor are we able to keep him inside while he recovers from being fixed. And we can't bring him inside because we have 4 male cats in this house, and 3 male cats in the house, and my mouth was off, and they want to rip him to shreds through the door, so that's not gonna happen. And he's pretty lovable. He's a little feisty, and I don't think he'd be dumb enough to fall for a live trap because he seems pretty wary of most things. I mean, we can sort of pick him up, but if somebody new walked up, I don't know how he'd react, so we would probably have to trap him for animal control. And I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. We keep feeding him. He comes and goes. He seems fairly content, though he keeps looking at the door like he wants to come in, and I'm like, no, you don't live here. I don't know where you go, but this isn't it. And we cannot bring you in. The car wash kitten that we rescued, it took the final open slot we had. And we probably shouldn't have even done that, but we had a moment of weakness and we couldn't help ourselves, so. We just have not the room nor the budget to take on another cat. Okay, so we've got 2 bars to go. So yeah, these guys do take a little bit longer to get through. But it's not terrible. And we have managed to bump our HP up a little bit. Like, I think when we first got out here, we were around 9,000. Oh, so another point about Bastion and Bloodthirsties. If you can't leave the island, there's gonna be a level range where you're gonna be dealing with green mobs, and there's no other way around it. I think at level 56, the mobs that because you're not in World Quest mode, and you're in storyline mode, these mobs out here scale a little funny. So what are we? We are 54. These guys are 53. As you can see, we're well past the 25% point in the level. These guys aren't going to level up past 53. So you're going to be stuck killing max level 53 mobs for a little bit. Probably until level 57. The only one I think I dared touch a level 60 mob on with a Bloodthirsty was the Hunter, I think. But if you're a little unsure of your challenger's capabilities of dealing with the level 60 mobs at level 57, you can get one more green level out of these guys. I think they turn gray at 58. But that's kind of the way it is. So that's why I was saying one time on the podcast, man, level 57 just seems to drag. Because you start to have diminishing XP as you're leveling up, and these mobs are not. So kind of like how you would phase out of a expansion zone. Like during BFA, if you were hanging around in Legion longer than you probably should, you're going to start getting lesser and lesser amounts of XP for killing the mobs as you outlevel them. Unfortunately. It'd be really great if my arm would stop shaking. Jesus Christ. I'm not sure if it's just the way I'm holding my arm or if it's my neck. It's probably my neck. Don't fuck your neck up, kids. It ain't fun. This old neck injury of mine. If I had had insurance, I would have gone to a different doctor. But it was a workman's comp issue. That they really wanted to fight me over. I probably should have just fucking went to the emergency room and just eaten the damn bill myself. Because I'm not real sure that the guy that
He was a fucking kook.
Yeah. Like, I've never heard of someone having a neck injury and someone putting their hands on the side of their neck, like a doctor putting their hands on the side of their neck, feeling for like 2 seconds, and then without warning, like, my head was on my shoulder, okay? Like, I was having, something happened the day before somebody called my name. I'd been doing a lot of lifting awkwardly shaped, not super heavy boxes, but I mean, I could lift them above my head, but they were almost as tall as me. And climbing over shit in our stockroom and stuff that, you know, the stockroom wasn't quite how it should have been. Aisles were not as clear as they should have been. so you kind of had to climb to get to stuff. And while I'm in the middle of doing an entryway display, setting it up, I was working retail. It was right where, you know, you come in the one door and you're coming out the other door where the two doors meet, from the registers, and somebody on one of the registers that was running customer service yelled for me, and I was so pissed off, because did not want to be dealing with this display anymore, and just everybody wanted a piece of me that day, and I was just at my wit's end, and I still had other freight and orders I had to do because I was merchandising, and I was just like, what the fuck? I didn't yell that, but I was like, what? And, because there was blowers running in the entryway to keep, the air conditioning and the heat in the building, and like a wind curtain thing, and I couldn't hear them, and they're yelling like I can hear them, and I just got so mad. I was just like, what? And I flipped my head to the side to look through the glass window to see what the fuck they wanted, and something popped in my neck. And the coworker that was standing next to me that was putting the display boards up for this this merchandise that I was putting out said I yelled ow, and I don't remember this because there was so much going on. I thought I hurt my neck in the stockroom lifting boxes. But she's like, no, I was standing next to you, you yelled ow. And I was like, did I? Because sometimes I have reflexive ows where, like, you know, you think something's gonna hurt and you say ow, and then like 5 seconds later it didn't. Maybe that's just me. Like, I'm preparing myself for the ow. And I was okay the rest of the day. The day was hectic, and there was just so much going on. I didn't have time to think about anything. Maybe it was the adrenaline of the day or whatever. Went to bed. The next morning, oh, somebody's out here killing Valerians. Next day, I was on truck duty. We had an especially big truck coming in. They couldn't offload the pallets into the stockroom because there wasn't enough room in the aisles of the stockroom from the loading dock to drag the pallets through. So, yeah. So they had to offload them in front of the store and bring them in the front doors after they, like, emergency unhinged them so that they could get them through the front doors. And we had to quick collapse the merchandise off the pallets and put it in the departments it had to go in. So basically down stacking. And it was almost a full semi, so we were under the gun because the store opened at 9. We had to be in at 6 to try to get this shit done, or at least get the pallets off the floor before store open. And that morning I woke up, my neck was kind of stiff, and at first I was thinking I had slept funny, but then I'm like, I don't think I slept funny. Like, it just felt stiff. And I was like, alright, well, I was like, this is gonna fucking suck. Like, I can't not go in, because I was actually tempted to call out. But I was like, they specifically asked me to come in for the truck, blah, blah, blah. If I call out, you know, it's gonna look like I'm just don't want to do the truck. And I don't mind doing the truck. Actually enjoyed breaking down the pallets. And so I was like, alright. You know, I didn't get to do truck very much, and it was something I liked, so I'm like, no, I'm gonna go in. But of all days. So I get there, and they're offloading the shit quick onto our hand trucks, and we're delivering it around to the different departments in the store, stacking up on the back ends of the aisles, and then we get to the candy pallet. And candy pallet, it's not like the candy, like, you know, it's not like M&Ms and shit like that. It was boxes of make and mold or make and melt bags of chocolate wafers. So, like because, you know, I worked for a craft store, so, you know, it was your Wilton bags of candy, candy wafers, like your white chocolate, your dark chocolate, you know, all that shit. And they were like 20... Was it 10-pound boxes or was it 22-pound boxes? I think they were... I want to say they were 10-pound boxes. and they were stacking them up on our hand trucks, and they were only stacking them as heavy as we felt we could handle, because they were very heavy. And some people can only do like 3 or 4. I think I was doing maybe 7 to 10 on the hand trucks, and it was okay once I got it tilted. By the time I did the 3rd one, my head was on my shoulder, and I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? I'm like, I've got a problem. Like, I can't fucking move my head. I'm in pain. Like, something's wrong. So, they begrudgingly let me fill out a workman's comp form, and the other lady came in who had witnessed my thing the day before, and she filled out a witness statement. And they're like, well, why didn't you say anything yesterday? And I was like, because my head wasn't on my shoulder yesterday. This was like a residual thing. So they were pissed off that I didn't even say anything the day before. And I'm like, I didn't think it was going to be a thing the day before. Like, I didn't know it was going to do this. And there was so much going on. And in the moment, it happened and it was done. You know? It's like, how was I to know that that was going to be a thing? Like, they were giving me so much shit. And I'm like, I am not in the mood to deal with this. I am in pain. I can't move my head off my shoulder at all. It's only getting worse, and you standing here giving me a bunch of shit is not fucking helping. So they sent me to the workman's comp doctor. I was in tears on the way there because of how I had to sit, and every time, like, my dad actually had to take me. Even if I had been driving at the time and had my own car, I would not have been able to drive with the condition that I was in. And every tap of the brakes was fucking agony. And going in the accelerator, I was just like, oh my god, like, make this stop. I get there, fill out their fucking paperwork. Again, no condition to be fucking doing this anyway. I'm just like, I can't move to really see anything, to see the fucking paperwork, and to even read what the fuck I'm signing. He comes in, he's looking at me, he's talking to me for a minute. Puts his hands behind my neck, because I'm sitting there facing him. He puts hands on both sides of my neck. And the next thing I know, he throws my head up straight. No warning, nothing. Just does it. And he's like, okay, keep it there. I'm like, what? What the fuck did you just do? He's like, I'm going to give you some muscle relaxers, and you're going to take those for 3 days, and then you can go back to work light duty. Didn't even want to see me again. Never took an x-ray. Like, I could have had a fucking disc dislodged, and I'm like, what? And to this day, I still have problems with my neck. To this day. I'm just like, wow. I can't turn my head certain ways too quickly. I have to think about how I am going to turn my head. Because if I don't think about how I'm moving, it can very easily happen again, and it has happened multiple times since then. Not to where my neck or my head's on my shoulder, but it's come close. But I will be in agony for days, and I'm just like, really, fucker? I should have gotten a second opinion. But at that point, I was just in so much goddamn pain. And he's like, well, the muscle relaxers aren't going to take the pain away. And I'm like, okay. He's like, it's just going to, you know, sleep on that side that your head's trying to, or your neck, or your head's trying to go down to your shoulder on to help force it back into place. And I'm like, really? And then he's like, do hot compresses too. And I'm like, oh my god, what is this? I wasn't right for like 2 weeks, and I had to go back to light duty like 3 days later, and I was just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Never did a follow-up, nothing. That was god awful. And a few years, well, several years later, that medical clinic had long since shuttered their doors and closed up. Don't know why. Can't imagine why. Jesus Christ. I'd heard some other interesting stories of people that had gone there. Not quite, satisfied with the medical care. I should have just fucking bounced and went to the emergency room. They might have told me the same thing, but I probably would have felt a little bit better about it. 'Cause, you know, I've only ever seen people with neck problems or a potentially bad neck injury where they're treating it with like kid gloves and, you know, 'cause it's your fucking neck. And people are like, oh, you should go to the chiropractor. I'm like, no, that ain't happening. And they're like, why? It feels so good after an adjustment. I'm like, have you seen what they do to those people? I've had enough trauma involving my neck. I am not letting somebody just fucking start twisting and turning it every which way. And I've heard horror stories about things going wrong. I've already got enough problems up there. I do not want to come out of that a fucking quadriplegic. I'm sorry. That would be terrible. I don't trust it. It's not for me. No thank you. That's not happening. I'm not willingly going to put myself in that position. Not happening. If it works for you, then hey, I'm happy for you. I cannot bring myself to do it. I am too terrified. No way. I will suffer before I do that. Like, this helm looks ridiculous, but it also kind of works with this outfit. Kind of. I feel like I'm a fucking bird. So, wow, challenges. Bloodthirsty. Tidal Soul. Resto Shaman. Dings level 55. Looking at a slash blade time overall so far of 6 days. This one did go through level squish, just so you know. 18 hours and 52 seconds. Like, I'm glad that some people can find relief with those sorts of adjustments. I just can't do it. I am too scared. Alright, so 12,104. I used the total kill number because this one was around during the time that the kill tracker was a little off and that this number wasn't registering everything it was supposed to be, but that has since been fixed since Shadowlands came in. So, but I just tend to go with this number because it's just easier. Alright, we'll send that off. Let's get our mount. Alright, repair 1 gold, not bad. Let's do our vendor trash. Only 3 slumber powders on this one this time. Alright, so vendor trash came in at 302, not bad. And this is the stuff that we put on, so that's going to be all soulbound. Alright. And the greens netted us another 462. I deal with the meat at the end because we're just gonna get more of it, so it's like fine, whatever. Remove that and that and that. Okay, so let's go grab our last bloodthirsty for the day. If you need to start, then start. I can just.
I'm good.
Okay.
Trust me, if I was that hungry, I'd go start now.
Okay. Oh, we got another severe thunderstorm warning. That's in Missouri. For... who's it for? It's until 8 p.m. West Plains Grand Gulf State Park, Thayer, South Fork. Oh my goodness, how do you pronounce that? Koshkonog? Koshkonog? Brandsville and Lanton. Taco, how do you pronounce that? Koshkonog? Am I saying that right? That's funny to say. Like, that's a weird town name. Is that a territory? Or like a reservation or something? I know there's some reservations just over the border in Oklahoma, and some of those towns I can't pronounce to save my life. KoshnoN. Okay, hold on. My dyslexic is showing. Koshkonong.
Koshkonog?
That's what I was thinking.
Koshkonog, yeah. That's terrible.
Like, is that a reservation area? Do you guys have any of those up in Missouri? Because I know there's some next door. It's near the southern border. Like, there's names that are so hard to pronounce in Oklahoma, like Okmulgee and a couple other ones that are pretty hard for me. Yeah, but am I saying it right? Oh, it's a town? Okay. So it is a regular town. Okay, not like a reservation area. Okay. Okay. It just, I didn't think I was saying it right. You haven't heard that name in forever? Like, we were gonna go to Branson one weekend, but, those plans fell through. So we haven't been up to Branson. Like, we were gonna go, and then, we were gonna go see the aquarium that they put in. Because we like to visit the aquariums and the things, and we were going to do the Pirate Adventure Golf because I had seen that place reviewed from one of their locations in Florida, and it looked like a lot of fun. I was like, oh, well, we can justify the weekend for that. And then when the aquarium opens, we were seeing the reviews on the aquarium versus the price point, and we were like, oh, I don't know if we can justify that. So we had to cancel that trip because it sounded pretty small for what they were charging for an entrance fee. And we didn't want to pay that much for something that we were going to be done with in like a half an hour. And we can't do Silver Dollar City or anything like that, so... Well, I can't. I mean, we could walk around, but I'm not paying... I can't pay $40+ or whatever the entrance fee is to just walk around and not do anything. And I can't get on any of the rides, except for maybe a carousel, and I don't think Russell wants to do carousel, so... And it's no fun to ride by myself. But I have to watch what I do. Like, we've been curious about, well, I've been curious at times about wanting to go back to Disney again, because I was only ever there once when I was 10, and I remembered being so mad because the stuff I wanted to get on when I was 10, the parental units wouldn't allow me to, because they didn't want to stand in the line, but everything had a fucking long line. Like, we would stand for 45 minutes to an hour to get on Small World, but they weren't going to stand a half an hour for me to get on Teacups. And I'm like, but I was just, and it was for my birthday, and I couldn't do what I wanted to do, so I was mad. But at this point, Disney is so expensive, that's not going to happen ever. And I can't really ride anything now with the state that my neck is in, so, like, I could probably do Small World, but I don't want to pay $80+ to walk in to stand in line for 2 hours for like 2 rides and then spend another $40 on food to have not accomplished anything for the day. I can't do it. So if we stop back through Orlando the next time we're in Florida, we'll probably just go to SeaWorld again. That was a much more enjoyable day. We could move around, we got to see all kinds of stuff, we got to go to the dolphin show. We got to do, there was just so much more to do and look at. And the food wasn't terrible. It was a little expensive, but our park tickets, we got 50% off, which was amazing, and we were staying right next door, so we could just walk over from the hotel. It was like a 10-15 minute walk from the hotel. So, hell yeah. And the hotel was pretty reasonably priced for considering we had the dogs with us. I think we paid under $140 with the pet fee. I think we were there 2 nights. I wish we could have been there a little bit longer because we didn't have the chance to get into the pool or do a whole lot because we were so exhausted. And we got there the one night. We had dinner. I think we had thought about getting in the pool, but it was late by the time we had eaten dinner and gotten sorted. And we didn't want to bother. And then the next night, or the next day, we went to SeaWorld, and then we were pretty well exhausted, and we could have stayed longer, and we probably would have if it hadn't looked like it was going to rain, but I had gotten some stuffed animals, and I was afraid about them getting wet, because all they gave us was, like, the paper bags, so I was like, and the tops were open, I'm like, oh, these are going to get soaked. But we were there for a good part of the day. I think we left around 3. We probably could have stayed a little bit longer, but that was a lot of fun. That was worth it at the 50% off park ticket. I think if we ever go back, we might try to get all-day dining. I don't know if we get it for both of us. We might get it for one of us and just share. But it was a good day. I want to go to the Clearwater Aquarium. That looks like fun. And there's a zoo in Tampa I want to check out. I want to go to the aquarium in Atlanta one day. And if we're going to the aquarium in Atlanta, we might as well go to the zoo as well. I know you and Movies, another Twitch streamer that I know from the WoW community, suggested St. Louis. That's on our list. Maybe the next time we go north. But I don't know when our next north attempt is going to be. It's not going to be for some time. Like, it might not be for maybe a couple of years. Oh, I certainly hope we get this rain, because I am starting to hurt something terrible. Holy shit. I am so uncomfortable all of a sudden. My tailbone is killing me. I think I'd rather have it feel tingly than this, because this is god awful. Well, it seems like the lightning's dying down out of what's left to our north. I don't know if it's going to sink down far enough for us, but come on, rain. I had seen where it had rained so bad that they had shut down parts of the interstate through St. Louis. They were having flash flooding. Oh damn, we didn't blow my computer out. We need to do that. That's gonna have to wait till tomorrow, I think. I want to make sure everything's actually cool in there before we get the air out and start blowing shit. We had enough problems earlier, which is why we started late. I don't want to inflict any more damage to this thing than necessary. We're already not seeing eye to eye, so... My C drive and I are rather angry at each other. So when you go to get a new PC, always get more storage room than you think you're gonna need.
Well, again, it's not that you need more storage room, it's that your computer was designed early in the flash memory era, so it wasn't meant to have programs installed on it other than Windows, but Windows kept expanding, and
This thing's not that old.
and NVIDIA's full of shit. It's still early in the practical use of flash memory, hon. Practical flash memory for hard drives is not that old tech.
But it is the first PC I've had a solid state C drive.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to look into something with a bit more.
Well, again, by default, it's going to have a bit more.
Especially now that I'm doing more things and stuff. And I promise I am working on that damn speed felt video. I am. It's been so fucking hot. I was working on it yesterday. I'm still editing the second live stream we did on that. So far I've gotten about 4 to 5 hours of video edited down to about just under 30 minutes. I would have had that second live stream done, but then I noticed I had alpha access and went to go download that, and it was so hot in here I was afraid of pushing the PC a little too hard. But hopefully we can spend some time on that this weekend, since there's no podcast this weekend. So this is probably going to take a few more rotations to get these two done. I think I was averaging about a bar of XP every... I can't remember if it was 1 rotation or 2. There's only 10 mobs in this level 60 rotation. unfortunately. Now there are more of these moths, but you kind of have to hunt them down. And the ones in the other location, there's some smaller ones that are attached to each other, so you end up with like 3 instead of 1. And I don't want to overwhelm my character, so you never know when an ill-timed lag spike is going to be a problem, which we already experienced one time during Legion that had killed my challenger when I had 5 mobs on me because I was being a little less than cautious and like, oh, I can handle this many mobs, and then a lag spike hit, and then the character died like 5 bars from dinging, so I was like, yep, that happened. So try to play a little more cautiously. There's reasons for me playing so cautiously now, but it's getting the job done. So, you know, there's reasons for things. Things happen. It is so hot in here. My hands are sweating so bad. Oh, good lord. It's gotta be over 80 in this bedroom. Maybe 85. It never really did cool off in here last night. Our low last night was 80 degrees. Like, I've been putting ice water in my humidifier just to try to do something. It's just been so damn dry. And so hot. Like, this one little dog of ours, like, loves being under his flannel fleecy blanket, usually all through the summer. It's been so hot, he hasn't even been getting under that all of the time, so I'm like, yeah. He's not panting, but it's definitely toasty in here. I'm not sure what the temperature currently is. I'm hoping it's come down a little bit since it got quite so cloudy. If you want to go ahead and start, that would be good, because we're almost done. Are you even capable of standing there?
I'm gonna find out.
Or do we need to figure out something else? I'd actually had every intention of making bourbon beef cubes today, but that headache when I woke up at 11:30 was not gonna happen. I'd actually almost canceled stream today right then, but I was like, no, let's get some ibuprofen in me. Let me lay back down for a little while and we'll see, because I really didn't want to cancel today. I'm not sure what tomorrow's weather is gonna bring. And it might be harder to get this in tomorrow. But I don't know, we might do pizza tomorrow. I have to see. It depends on some different factors. I'm not even sure if I have everything to do bourbon sauce. I think I do. Like, we froze that apple juice, right? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Like, I know we have the orange juice, but I thought we did the apple juice too. fairly certain we did. I hate the juice going to waste that we need for some of the sauces that I do, so I'll get some orange juice. We started freezing that in the ice cube tray in the amount that I needed in, or close to. And then we decided to do the same thing with the apple juice. Because it's not something we always have on hand. Yeah, so it's taking about a rotation and a half, maybe 2 rotations to get a full bar of XP here. So this one's getting closer. This one's level 58. So next week, providing everything goes according to plan, we should have another max level challenger. Spawns slowed, so starting your new tune to play when that happens, yeah. Like usually in the ones I do, things have usually come back. But I don't know where you're killing either, so. But, you know, we'll see. I am keeping an eye on the weather because, you know, you never know when shit might go sideways. But so far, things seem to be behaving, although we do have some showers starting to encroach in our area, and that is fine, because we need the fucking rain. It doesn't look like there's any lightning with it. It looks like it's just rain at the moment next to us, so I'll take it. Because we are in drought conditions, and we're kind of surrounded by wooded mountains. Tree-covered mountains. So seeing some of these wildfires and grass fires popping up within 50 miles is a little concerning. So we definitely need that rain badly. They tend to do a healthy number of controlled burns throughout the spring. But still, it's been so dry, it's not going to take much. I think the last, they called it a grass fire. The last fire down near Fort Smith, I think it was just to the east of it. The army had started by accident. They were doing routine training at one of their shooting ranges, apparently. And story is that they were using tracer rounds, with it being so dry and hot, so that the recruits could see where their shots were landing. And apparently it sparked off a grass fire. They came within yards of taking out some homes before they got it under control and got it out. I think it took them like 2 or 3 days to get it fully out, but I was like, Jesus Christ. It's like, really? Like, goddamn. Come on now. It's not exactly wise in this heat and the dry conditions. They did get some rain down that way a couple days ago. when we didn't. Like, we had thunderstorms that were splitting our town and going around us. And then reforming into one massive storm below us. I'm like, really? And then heading down into that area. I was like, we need the rain too, guys. We really need the rain. Like, I'm not a fan of the hay fields down here. They make me terribly sick, but, you know, the farmers and shit, they need the rain. A lot of cattle farmers around here. I think there's even a couple goat farms. And I think there's at least one alpaca farm. Of all things. I think they're, I think they have them for the wool. I think they're shearing them and selling the wool. To my knowledge. But good lord. Is it hot. I have not seen this many over, feels like over 100 days since we have moved here. Like, there'd be a couple where it was like, oh, 105, that's really, that was something notable. And now the feels like of 105 is like, pff, okay. The one day our feels like, I think, was 112. I was like, oh, no, no, no. So are you okay? Are you able to...
No, I'm standing right now, yeah.
Well, I didn't know how...
Well, we'll find out.
Okay. Husband was taking a bottle of water out of the freezer and it dropped it and it hit the outside ball of his ankle. So, we don't think he needs to go to the emergency room. You can still move it and everything. And it doesn't look bruised or swollen. It just hurts. I'm like, really? Usually I'm the klutz that can't get out of their own way. Twice I injured myself and probably should have gone to the emergency room and didn't because I didn't have insurance. And now we sort of have insurance through the state, and I haven't actually injured myself, so I'm like, okay, sure. I had tweaked my knee super bad when I was living in Pennsylvania. And I could not climb the stairs, up or down. I could hardly put any weight on my knee for like 2 or 3 days. So our apartment was on the 2nd floor. That was fun. I had to scooch up and down the steps on my butt. And I'm real good at rolling my ankles. And I did that one time pretty bad. I probably should have gone to the emergency room on that one. And I was actually contemplating it. If I hadn't been out of work, I probably would have. But I was worried about how much the ER bill was going to be since I didn't have any insurance whatsoever. But I was running to catch the bus and I stepped on a stick, and the stick had other ideas about me stepping on it the way I did, and my entire ankle just rolled to the side while I was trying to run. And so we were trying to catch the bus because I needed to go and get a haircut, and because I had just gotten word that I'd gotten my job back at the casino from being wrongfully laid off. My boss had finally managed to get it back for me, and I'd been out of work like 6 months, so I wanted to go and get my haircut and shit, and we had to go and do something else too, and I can't remember what it was. And it hurt at the moment, and it was a little sore, and Russell's like, are you okay? Do we need to go to the emergency room or anything? I'm like, no, I think I'm okay. And we got on the bus, and I can't remember which direction we took the bus in. I think because there's 2 different ways to get there. We could have done like 3 transfers if we'd gone the one way, or if we went the other way, we didn't have to transfer off. And I don't think we did the transfer one. I think we took the longer route because we didn't have anywhere to be, so we're like, fine, whatever, we don't care. Because I was just doing a walk-in haircut anyway. And we ended up getting off the bus, and when I went to get off the bus, I was like, oh, that's kind of sore. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to put some ice on that when we get home, you know. And once I started walking on it, it loosened up a bit, and I was like, all right, you know, we're fine. And then I sat down to get my hair cut. I did not think I had been sitting in the chair that long for my haircut. I was just getting a layered cut. It shouldn't have taken that long. Like, I didn't even... I think they wet my hair, but I was like, no, I don't want the shampoo. I've already washed it. If you need to wet it, that's fine, but I don't want the shampoo. I just want you to fucking cut my hair. So after some back and forth about that, they finally just cut it. And, I went to get up to pay, and my leg almost went out from underneath of me because my foot was almost numb. And I'm like, oh no. It had swollen while I was sitting there, and had just ballooned up entirely. And I was like, oh no. And Russell's like, do we need to go to the emergency room? And I'm like, I don't know. The answer probably should have been yes. By the time I got home, I didn't have an ankle visible. It was just puffed up so bad. Like, my foot was pins and needles, and I was like, I probably should have went to the emergency room. I didn't, though, because I was too afraid of how much it was going to cost. But, I have a feeling they would have had my ass in crutches for a few days. Like, I couldn't get up and down the steps because our room at the house in New Jersey at the time was in the basement, and we had a full flight of stairs that we had to go up and down. So that was fun. Not really. But oh, that was pretty bad. Well, I mean, sorry, I thought I heard a beeping that I couldn't place. I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was the husband doing something. Maybe it was a cicada outside and it just sounded like a beeping. Maybe a cicada. But yeah, no, I've hurt my back a couple of times since we've been down here. But nothing where I couldn't fully function. Alright, so there's 59, you guys. Where are we? There's the 50%, 55, about 55% rested through that next level. Alright, so let's hearth back to Siege Haven. / play it. So there's a spot where there are 8 mobs that spawn, but the longer you're there, the slower they spawn. There's usually at least 3 up at a time. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So let's go. WoW challenges, not podcast. Bloodthirsty. Jesus Christ. No, I don't do social media posts for WoW challenges at all. WoW challenges bloodthirsty. Soulglaive. Remember, no podcast this week, you guys. No podcast. Vengeance Demon Hunter. Ding's level 59. She did not go through level squish. So her slash blade is 6 days. Oh. 6 days. 22 hours. 31 minutes. That's not how you spell that. What am I missing? U-T. Sorry. Dyslexic and then scatterbrained. So 31 minutes, 47 seconds. I try to catch them. I'm getting better at catching them. Sometimes. Other times I will read a number and say it completely wrong, so. Alright. 9974. I have to break down the digits into groups to ensure that, or at least to try to help ensure I say them right. Okay. So we'll tweet that. It's always concerning when I hear my computer whirring. I'm like, I mean, I guess it means the fan's working, but like, don't overheat, buddy. 18 gold repair bill. That was a little painful. Alright, I did replace a weapon this level. So we're back to both warglaives now, so yay. So we had 11 slumber powders, 156 patterned wings, and 79 leafy antennas. So vendor trash this level was 395. And then our green guys here, another 252. So again, not as much green action as I probably would have had if we didn't have the Winds of Wisdom buff, but I'd rather have the Winds of Wisdom buff. Thank you very much. Alright, so tomorrow, the plan is to hit up Parkitect once again. I think we have about 9 or 10 more campaigns to go before we're done with Parkitect, at least for a while. So we'll see what we can get done in there tomorrow. Friday's going to be Planet Zoo, and we'll be putting the decorations on our bathroom area, adding in our ATM, and prettying up our restaurant. See how far we get. I think it's going to be outdoor seating restaurant, maybe. I don't know yet. Or it might kind of be open air. We'll see. Haven't fully decided. Saturday, there is no podcast this week. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming Saturday. It depends on how behind I am on stream prep. And I'm not sure if we can stream alpha. I have to look into it. If we can, maybe we'll stream some alpha challenger testing. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. And then Sunday, we will be back at it for art. We'll be continuing to work on our faux stained glass flamingo. We'll be starting on the flamingo this week. So I'll have to find my reference photo to get that up for you all. Because I need to look at the face. I need to figure out how we're going to handle the face with all the black lead lines around everything. We might have to gray the beak up a bit so that it doesn't get lost in all of the outlines. So that's the plan for the rest of the week. Good luck on your challengers. Remember, Winds of Wisdom goes until, I believe, August 2nd. It's gonna stop when Season 4 starts for PvP. So I think it might be the 3rd, depending on where you live. Maybe it's 3rd for EU, 2nd for NA, or maybe that's reversed. I don't know. 2nd or 3rd. Try to be where you want to be by the 2nd, I guess. If you want to utilize the buff. We don't have any upcoming holidays. Next thing we have coming up is going to be Darkmoon Fair. That's going to be on August 7th. Alright. We'll do a reminder tweet about that when we get there. We'll probably put it out late Saturday, the 6th. But that's a little bit away. So you guys, good luck on your challengers. Stay safe. Don't forget to use the hashtag WoW Challenges if you're tweeting about it, so that Lita and I can see it, because that's the hashtag that we watch for, so that we can help celebrate or commiserate with your challenge adventure. And there's the Discord and all of that stuff there. Don't forget to follow me in all of the places. We've got the YouTube archive, we've got all of the things, Twitter, the Etsy shop. I do have stuff up there right now, and all of that. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for Parkitect, maybe. Some of you, we'll see. As long as we have power and internet. And until next time, have a good one.